What's up, everybody? It's me, Chris, here to get my afterthoughts on Andre Berto versus Luis Collazo fight that went down Saturday night. Be honest, I didn't make a predictions video for this fight because it didn't really intrigue me all that much. Didn't really spark that much interest in me, even though I did plan on watching the fight. It just, wasn't that up for it. Just thought it'd be, a competitive fight, but I thought it'd be just a routine defense for Berto, more or less. Turns out it ended up being a really good fight, exceeded any expectations I had for it by far. I did make a prediction on comment on another person's video, Budasai Body Banga, predicted Berto by unanimous decision, and it did turn out that way, but once again, the fight turned out a lot more exciting than I expected. So, first off, I had to agree with Max Kellerman, something he said in the fight. He said it was a great fight. He said what makes a great fight, along with that fight, is when there's constant shifts in momentum, and it's hard to decipher who's going to win. And that's definitely something that played throughout this fight, throughout the entire fight. A lot of back and forth. One time, one fighter looked like they had it in the control, and then next thing you know, next round, another fighter had it. So, anyways, great way to start off the year on HBO by far. So, regarding the fight itself, round one, Berto got hurt by a punch from Collazo, got back knocked into the ropes. I saw somebody, 97 Rough, There Will Be Blood Boxing, said he thought it should have been a knockdown. I don't believe so, but, the punch did look like it caught Berto off guard. I don't know how hurt he was, but, that round, along with so many other rounds in this fight, were so hard to call. Could have almost gone either way, so you could see how it was a close and somewhat controversial decision to some people. Andre Berto got deducted a point in the fourth round for holding. I thought that was a little, it was unjust. I don't think he had done enough holding at that point to substantiate being reduced a point. So the thing about that round also is, I guess if you gave Berto the round, Collazo the round, it's a 10-8 round, but that was a close round. So if you gave Berto the round, it ends up being a 9-9 round in the final scores. So that also, depending on how you scored the fight personally, could have played a factor into it, in that round in particular. Like I said earlier, the fight was going back and forth. It almost seemed in the first 10 rounds as if they were trading off rounds. Well, maybe not. Collazo controlled early, I believe. Mid-rounds, I thought Berto took about 3-4 rounds in a row. In the 8th round, Collazo looked done. He really looked fatigued. Berto really took it to him. I just thought Collazo maybe was spent at that point. He had thrown a lot of punches. I just thought the body work, they both did a lot of good body work throughout this fight. Although I think they could have both done a little more. But not that they should have, but if they would have, it probably would have been even more effective against their opponent. But Collazo really looked done in the 8th. He looked fatigued. And I thought Berto was going to, be able to sweep the rest of the rounds, if not finish the fight. However, come 9th round, Berto looked spent. He looked like all the punches he threw and landed in the 8th may have taken something out of him. And he looked really weakened by the body shots in the 9th. Collazo stepped it up through like 100-plus punches, I believe, that round. Really dominated the 9th round. Then I thought to myself, maybe Berto was punched out. Not so much. 10th round for Collazo I gave. After 10 rounds, I had the fight even. I had it 5 rounds apiece. Last 2 rounds, I gave to Andre Berto. Luis Collazo, I said he threw over 100 punches in the 10th round. I think that took it out of him, along with the body shots. Berto landed some really hard body shots in the last couple of rounds. And I just really think Collazo was not fatigued, but he just didn't have as much in the gas tank come those last 2 rounds. And Berto came out charging hard in the 12th. They always say that you really got to go for it if you're going to win a championship as your challenger. You need to take the title, but if in the last round of it's a close fight, you should really go out in there and make a statement. And Berto, as the champion, is the one that went out and made a statement in the 12th round. So props to him. He listened to his corner. Really fought his ass off in that 12th round, to be honest. He had Collazo reeling a few times in that round. He really was taking it to him. So another thing, Berto in the last couple rounds and throughout the fight, whenever he didn't stand and sit in the pocket with Collazo and did a lot of movement, moved around the ring, made himself a hard target, he really dominated in those spots, and he did that a lot in the 11th and 12th. He moved and didn't just stand there for Collazo to hit him, and he was much more effective doing that when he was moving around the ring and making Collazo chase him. when he stood in the pocket, those were more the chances. Those were more the opportunities when Collazo was more effective. When he would stand and trade, Collazo was landing a lot of big punches. Also, props both guys. Well, more so Collazo, because I think Berto's a bigger puncher. Collazo showed a great chin. He got rocked. He got hit with a lot of clean, solid punches. As we've seen, Berto has pretty good power, along with great speed. And Collazo took a lot of flush shots and never once really looked hurt or stunned from a punch to the head. At least not to the point where I thought he was ever in danger of being stopped. And props to Berto as well. I think his chin's been questioned. He got hit with quite a few clean shots. I thought he might have been a little buzzed a couple times, but he held up and didn't go down at all either. So as far as the decision goes to Berto, I had the fight 7 rounds to 5. With Collazo, if you gave him a 10-8 round in the round where Berto got deducted a point, that would make the fight a draw, meaning Berto would have retained his title regardless. However, I think the round where, as I said, where Berto got penalized a point, that round still could have gone either way. Thus, it would have been a 9-9 round, and Berto would have won the fight by 1 point on my card. So, it's really hard to say. Close fight. I feel bad for Collazo because one judge had a 160-111 score in favor of Berto, which is a joke, especially with that point deduction. It's very unfortunate, but thankfully, if nothing else, that scorecard alone did not determine the winner of the fight based on the other 2 scorecards, but it was still a joke of a score. Anyways, like I said, at most I had it a draw. I might have had Berto up by a point, so I do believe Berto will retain this title either way, in my opinion. Also, I think aside from, another thing that might have made the fight controversial in some fans' eyes is Harold Lederman of HBO had it scored 115-112 for Collazo. And I think sometimes you buy into the announcers, what they're saying. You kind of start looking at the fight the way they do. And if you did buy into what Lederman's scoring was, then I could see how you thought Collazo was robbed. However, after my video was kind of late because I went back and watched the fight last night and really scored it round by round in particular and really looked at it close without trying to listen to the commentating. And that's how I had it, 7 rounds to 5 for Berto. So, either way, I don't know. Berto said he'll give him a rematch. We'll see. But I think Berto's going to learn a lot from this fight. He's never been in a tough fight like this, a real war of attrition. He showed, he's got a lot of heart. Showed he could survive. Showed he could not only survive, but come back strong in the end of a fight to make an emphatic statement. I wouldn't put him in with any of the top guys at 147, the other top dogs like Collado or Claudio or any of those guys just yet. I just don't know. Those guys are a lot bigger than him. I think they have a lot more experience. I think they might be able to exploit a lot of his defensive liabilities that he still seems to show. However, if Berto and Collazo have a rematch, I would favor Berto. Collazo fought a great fight, but I think Berto could capitalize more on mistakes and advantages that they both had in this fight. So if they did have a rematch, I would take Berto by another close decision. That's pretty much it. Great fight. Like I said, didn't expect it to be that good. A lot better than I thought it would be, and props to both guys. Really got me hyped for even more so for this weekend's Mosley Margarito fight, another fight in the welterweight division. So, anyways, that's it, y'all. I'm out of here. Till next time. Bye.